Welcome back into Southeastern 16. I'm Chase Robinson. The spring portal window is open, and there's a player that the Oklahoma Sooners have picked up that I think is going to be a big help to Oklahoma football in 2025. If you have not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button to us here on the Southeastern 16 YouTube channel. We provide you SEC football, basketball, and baseball content year-round. So subscribe, like this video, share it with your friends, as we'll be covering SEC football all the way up into the season and then through the season. A lot of great things planned here on Southeastern 16. So the Oklahoma Sooners have gone out and got a really good running back out of the transfer portal. I'm talking about Jaydn Ott. He is coming to Norman, Oklahoma from the Cal Bears. He entered the transfer portal, has committed to Oklahoma. And here's what I think Oklahoma is getting in Jaydn Ott. So Ott was rated as number 50 overall player and number 3 running back, according to some services when it comes to this transfer portal cycle. So he was well thought of by a lot of people. And I think the biggest question as we think about Jaydn Ott going to Oklahoma is, what version of Jaydn Ott are we going to get? So go back to 2023 with me. And he had a phenomenal year there with Cal. Last year was a little different. He battled some injury, never really could get healthy, get rolling. Not a great year. And so now that leads him to Oklahoma. He's stepping into an offense that struggled last year. There's no way around that. So what exactly is Oklahoma getting in Jaydn Ott? So let's look at some stats. We'll go back to 2023. He rushed the ball 246 times for 1,315 yards and 12 touchdowns. So really good numbers. Rushed for over 1,000 yards there at Cal in 2023. He also caught a couple of touchdown passes as well. 25 total catches in the air and 169 yards. He was all first team all Pac-12 in 2023. But then this past season in 2024, like I mentioned, battling some injuries and things, and only had 385 yards, 4 touchdowns. But again, keep in mind it was a struggle through injuries and all of that. So now here we sit in 2025. Oklahoma going into really a crucial year for Sooners football, and he has a chance to come in and do some big things to really help this program. And if Oklahoma wants to fix the offensive issues they had last year, I think going to a guy like Jaydn Ott is not a bad idea. Just looking at some of the things that the Sooners struggled with in 2024, I mean, they only averaged 24 points per game. You look at the yards per play, they only averaged 4.8 yards per play. So they weren't very explosive. And then when you look at their explosive rate, it was one of the worst in the nation as well. They were 131st in the country in explosiveness and their explosive rate. So there's no denying that Oklahoma needs some reinforcements offensively. And they're going to Jaydn Ott to help them do that. When it comes to the yards per play, they were 123rd nationally. I mentioned they were 131st in explosive rate nationally. They were 123rd in yards per play. And so the offense really never got things going. And again, there were times last year for Oklahoma where all the wide receivers were hurt. I mean, they were going back and forth between quarterbacks. I really felt like there was not an offensive rhythm or really an offensive identity last year for the Oklahoma Sooners. So they're trying to fix that this year. And going out and getting John Mateer, Washington State transfer quarterback, I think was a really good start. He could be an explosive quarterback, and he's working with his former coach, Ben Arbuckle, who was hired as the offensive coordinator at Oklahoma. So I thought that was 2 really good decisions. And then bringing Jaydn Ott in. And when you have Ott in the backfield with John Mateer, I think that really elevates what Oklahoma could do offensively. And so I think picking up Jaydn Ott is going to help bring some explosiveness. Because if he goes back to his 2023 self when he was rushing for over 1,000 yards, getting to that 1,300-yard mark and 12 touchdowns on 246 carries, there's some explosiveness in there. And that's what Oklahoma needs. and I think he can definitely help provide that. They've gone out and got some wide receivers too for John Mateer to throw to, and so I think what they are doing offensively is it's in a position to help them out in the long run when it comes to just getting these numbers a little better against a crucial year in Norman, Oklahoma. There's no way to deny that, and so I think Ott will help the Sooners in 2025 if we can get that healthy 2023 Jaydn Ott. I think you're going to see some explosiveness from Oklahoma. I think you'll see that yards per play number go up more than it was last season, because anytime you get a strong, powerful running back, and you got an offensive line, which I do think they're putting some pieces on that as well. We'll do another video on their offensive line another time. But when you are working on the offensive line like they are, when you get some explosiveness at the running back position, these guys, they can go. I mean, we saw it last year with several teams with really good running backs and how successful they were. So you get a guy like a healthy 2023 Jaydn Ott in there, and that's going to be huge. That is going to be huge for Oklahoma. So I think we'll see explosiveness go up for Oklahoma. We'll see the yards per play number go up for Oklahoma. And I think he can create some space, give him some room. And I think that Jaydn Ott can roll. And I think he's poised to have a good 2025 season there with the Oklahoma Sooners. And again, seeing him in the backfield with John Mateer, I think that can be a dangerous duo there in the backfield for the Oklahoma Sooners. I think both of those are really good pieces that Brent Venables and Ben Arbuckle, the offensive coordinator, went after. And then you can't not talk about Jim Naggie, the general manager there for the Oklahoma Sooners, who I know was a big part of bringing Jaydn Ott in to Norman, Oklahoma. And he's watched him when in his time as executive director of the Senior Bowl, and knew how special of a back he could be. And that's one of the reasons that Jaydn Ott is now in Oklahoma. And I think while we will see more guys like this coming to Norman, Oklahoma, is because you have Jim Naggie there, who has had his eyeballs on really good talent for a long time now, working with the Senior Bowl and kind of in that space. And now he moves over to college football. He's got the connections. He knows the players, and I think that's going to be really big for Oklahoma moving forward. But that's what I think the Sooners are getting in transfer running back from Cal, now in Norman, Oklahoma, as a Sooner, Jaydn Ott. Looking forward to seeing him and the rest of Oklahoma in 2025. We've got you covered as, the dominoes are starting to fall as these players starting to hit the transfer portal, move around. We're not going to do – there's so many transfers in SEC football. We're not going to hit on every one of them, but these big ones, we'll get on here. We'll talk about and break down what you can expect from your favorite team. And, hey, Oklahoma fans, I think there's a lot to be excited about when it comes to Jaydn Ott in 2025. We are Southeastern 16. Subscribe if you have not already. Hit the like button. Share it with your friends. Drop a comment as well. What do you think, Oklahoma fans? Would love to hear from you. And stay tuned, because we will have more coverage of SEC football, basketball, baseball right here on Southeastern 16.